What happens when the trickster god Loki pushes his luck too far? Caught in Thor's iron grip with a body-breaking punishment looming, Loki must scheme his way out of trouble. But can even his silver tongue and cunning wits save him from the wrath of the gods? In the realms of Norse mythology, stories of gods and giants are filled with drama, mischief, and adventure. Today we delve into the tale of Loki, the god of mischief whose latest prank has gone wrong. After cutting off the golden hair of Thor's wife Sif, Loki is forced to use every trick in the book to avoid a dire fate. The mischievous Loki was writhing uncomfortably in Thor's iron grip. He had snuck up on Thor's wife Sif the night before, while the rest of the gods were sleeping, and shorn off her beautiful hair. It seemed like a fun prank at the time, but Thor was about to break every bone in his body. Loki needed to come up with a solution to his mistake. But who could replace Sif's flawless hair, golden like a field of summer wheat? The dwarves, their legendary blacksmiths, could create anything. Loki rushed to their realm, deep within the Earth's mountains. Even before he arrived, the cunning Loki was planning how to get the dwarves to do his bidding. He determined his best bet was to pit two families against each other. He began by paying visits to Ivaldi's masterful sons. He informed them that their competitors, two brothers named Brock and Eitri, had claimed to be the best craftsmen in the world and were determined to prove it in a competition. The rules stated that each family was required to create 3 gifts for the gods, one of which was golden hair for the Ivaldi. Loki then went to Brock and Eitri and told them the same thing, but this time claiming that Ivaldi's son issued the challenge. Brock and Eitri, however, were not so easily duped and agreed to participate only if Loki put his head on the line. If Brock and Eitri won, Loki would lose his head to them. Loki had no choice but to agree, and to save himself, he needed to find a way to ensure that Ivaldi's sons won. Both groups of dwarves set to work. Eitri assigned Brock to man the bellows and instructed him not to stop for any reason, or the treasures would be destroyed. Soon, a strange black fly entered the room. When a piece of pigskin was placed in the forge, a fly stung Brock's hand, but he didn't blink. Next, while Eitri was working on a gold block, the fly bit Brock on his neck. The dwarf carried on. Finally, Eitri placed a piece of iron into the furnace. This time, the fly landed directly on Brock's eyelid and bit as hard as it could. Brock's hand briefly left the bellows. That was all it took. Their final treasure had not remained in the fire long enough. Loki reappeared in his normal form, overjoyed by their defeat, and accompanied the dwarves to present their treasures to the gods. Loki first presented the treasures obtained from Ivaldi's sons. Their golden hair clung to Sif's head and continued to grow, making her even more radiant than before. Next, Odin the All-Father received a magnificent spear capable of piercing through anything. Finally, a small cloth unfolded into a massive ship designed for Freya, the god of harvest. Brock then presented the treasures he and his brother had created. They'd created a golden bristled boar to pull Freya's chariot across the sky faster than any mount. For Odin, a golden arm ring would produce 8 more identical rings on the 9th night. Thor's hammer is called Mjölnir. The handle was too short and Loki smirked at the obvious flaw. But then Brock demonstrated its capabilities. Mjölnir would never shatter, miss its target, or return to Thor's hand when thrown. Despite the short handle, the gods unanimously agreed that this was the best gift of all. Loki attempted to flee, but Thor reached him first. But before the dwarves could get their due, clever Loki pointed out that they had won the rights to his head but not his neck, so they had no right to cut it. Everyone grudgingly admitted the truth, but Brock would have the last laugh. He took his brother's awl and pierced Loki's lips before sewing his mouth shut, preventing the trickster god from spreading his malicious deception. The irony was not lost on the gods, as Loki's deception had brought them these fine treasures and given Thor the hammer for which he is still famous today. And so, Loki's mischief resulted in the creation of some of the gods' greatest treasures, including Thor's mighty hammer, Mjölnir. Though his tricks came at a cost, Loki's cunning left a lasting mark on Asgard. If you enjoyed this story from Norse mythology, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more mythological tales. Thanks for watching.